Come in. Take a seat. How you doing? Okay. Well, this is a safe space, and you're free to talk here. So, see, it's been a while since your last session. Is that correct? Yeah. Okay. So I've got your previous case history, and I'm not gonna ask questions I already know the answer to, but I will ask: has anything changed since your last session? Any surgeries, any major traumatic events, any new medication, any new over-the-counter medication, things like that. Okay. So we'll get into why you're here in a second. Obviously, I know why you're here. You told me over the phone. I'm just gonna ask you to sign here for me. I know you signed the papers out in the waiting room, but this is just my own personal copy. Just sign that X there, just to say that I treated you. Thank you. Okay. So I'll look over your case history, and obviously you know why you're here, and I know why you're here. But in your own words, could you please tell me why you're here? Okay, so this event happened, and you are feeling upset and confused about it, I'm assuming. Yeah? Okay. Why don't you tell me a little bit about the details of the event? So, like walk me through it. Okay. You have my attention at all times, but I do need to take notes for my records. So while I have your attention, I will be looking down to jot some notes down. I hope that's okay. All right. Okay. Keep going, please. So, well, that sounds awful. How did you feel during the event? So, if you were to rate your emotions, like you obviously were pretty angry. But if you were to rate let's say your anger on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being no anger at all, you feel perfectly fine. 10 being the angriest you've ever been. Where would you put yourself on that scale during the event? It's pretty high. I mean, that's understandable, but that's yeah. Okay. And how about your anxiety? The same scale as before, during the event. Because that was a little bit lower. Yeah, when we get to those moments, it kind of seems like our worries start to like run in our head. I know when before this was my job, I actually worked in a grocery store, and I sometimes during work hours, I was so exhausted, and I'd actually have panic attacks. That's true. So I would have these panic attacks, and I just had to keep telling myself it would be okay. Most of the time, it wasn't. I mean, well, it was, but it wasn't in my head. It wasn't. It would, me saying it was okay wasn't working. Is what I'm basically getting at. Those feelings of almost hopelessness, like you're not going to get out of the situation. You can get out of the situation. In your case, I think the easiest thing that I would say for you to do is excuse yourself from the situation, right? You find find some kind of excuse to get out of it. See what I'm saying? So, in your case, what I would have said, and I know it doesn't matter now, but maybe for the future, if you find yourself in a situation like this again, say, oh, I have to run to the grocery store, or I have to go home. My mother needs something from me, or I have to go feed my cat. The last one might be a little bit less believable, but you get the picture. I mean, it's find an excuse to get out of it, right? No, I get it. It can be hard sometimes. No, I completely understand that. It can be hard sometimes, but sometimes for our own mental health, you have to, right? And that's okay. It's all right to excuse yourself from a situation, and most psychologists and therapists, they would say, face your problem head on, or just tackle it with all your might. Well, that can work. However, for most, the easiest thing to do is just get it out of the situation and avoid the situation, and that's a perfectly reasonable way to get out of it. If you can't do that, if whatever you tried doesn't work, then I would say face your problem head on. Stand up for yourself. So and then leave. But it's difficult. I understand that. Hey, you're perfectly safe here. It's gonna be okay. Why don't we do you remember the coping skills that I taught you last session? Okay. So, a couple of coping skills that work for me when I start feeling that almost panic is what I would do. I apologize for my chair, it's so squeaky. So what I would do is I would take some nice deep breaths and count to 10. Right? So, why don't we do that together? Okay. So, take a nice deep breath in. Through your nose and out through your mouth. Good. Now, why don't we count to 10 together? Repeat after me, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How's that feel? Good. That's what we like here. So, you requested a shorter appointment today, is that right? Okay. Well, we'll wrap it up soon. Just want to... I have to ask this question. Please, if you answer, there's no incorrect answer to this. Whatever your answer you give, alarms will not start blaring. There's nothing wrong with you, but I do have to ask this question for insurance sake, pretty much, and also for your sake, obviously, but mostly for your sake, but also gotta cover my butt too. Okay, so. These are a couple questions we have to ask for the insurance company. But this is also ties in with therapy. In the past, some of these questions might seem a little silly given your case history, but in the past 30 days, have you felt any feelings of depression? Yes, okay. In the past 30 days, have you felt any feelings of anxiety? Yes. Let's see. I should also mention with this questionnaire, this is completely confidential, right? Like completely confidential. There's a couple exceptions to that, but I don't foresee them being an issue. So next question is: have you, in the past 30 days, had thoughts of hurting yourself or hurting somebody else? Have you, in the past 30 days, tried to hurt yourself or hurt somebody else? I think that might be it for these questions. Sorry, I had to ask them, but they do tie in with the therapy session. I should have asked them at the beginning, actually, but I asked them now. You just really seem to want to get into that situation that you were that event that happened, so I kind of skipped it, but I did have to ask it for the insurance company, but obviously for your sake too. You know, if I don't ask those questions, I actually get fired. That's a fun fact for you. Yeah, like if I sent you away, if I said, oh, have a great session, and you went away and you did something, that would genuinely, I might actually get arrested. There's a fun fact for you. But I asked the question, so now my butt's covered. And your answers, again, no alarms started blaring. But even if your answers were yes all the way down, no alarms would have started blaring. You wouldn't have been taken away. You are perfectly safe here. We would have talked through it. We would have dealt with the issue. Now, if the issue was pressing, someone would have to step in. But the issue, it wasn't even there. But most of the time when that is an issue, we talk through it, we get out of it, and we're okay. Yeah, I've actually never had anybody taken from my office. So that bodes well for you. You are not the first. Or you won't be the first, because you don't have those issues. Okay. So I'd like to thank you for coming in and seeing me today. Again, you asked for the shorter appointment. I assume you just wanted to talk over the event, get some reassurance on it. I don't think how you reacted was bad. I don't think how you reacted was in any way wrong. I just, the situation, it's a difficult situation, right? Yeah. So it's a difficult situation, and you're not the only one that's ever done that. I've heard it plenty of times in this office. Definitely work on those coping skills. They definitely help. I know they help me. And real quick, how did you feel after the event? Just out of curiosity, how did you feel after? Okay, so depression was pretty much at an all-time high. Okay, let me jot that down. On a scale from 1 to 10, the same scale as before, how would you rate your depression after the event? Yeah, I thought so. And what about anxiety? Yeah, after traumatic events like that, your worries tend to kind of run. Again, they run more than during the event. I mean, because after the event, you start worrying about what people thought, things like that. So rest assured, I don't think it was that big of a deal. Obviously, it was a big enough deal for you to seek therapy, but I don't think many people are going to remember what happened. Obviously, I'm so sorry. My nose is so itchy. Must be that time of year. But no, seriously, I think we worked well today. Yeah. So I'd like to thank you for coming in and seeing me today. It was a pleasure to see you again. And you have a great day.